Here are 3 cool ways to lace Air Max 90s, including loose lacing, bar lacing, and diamond lacing. Timestamps for each are down below. Let's get started. Here's how to loose lace Nike Air Max 90s. Start by taking your lace, and we're going to feed each lace end down into the 2 very bottom eyelets here from above, like this. So just feed the first one in, pull it through a little bit but not all the way, then swap to the other side. Take your lace end and down into the eyelet from above, and pull it through a little bit but not all the way, just like we did. Then take a hold of your 2 lace ends, make sure they're equal, then grab your sneaker and pull those through. And what this means is your lace ends will come out of equal length on either side, and then you can just go ahead and adjust any little twists in the laces before we begin. If yours didn't come out equal lengths, don't worry about it, pause the video, there's no rush, just make sure they're equal before we start. Then we're going to take this lace and put this one out of the way. We're going to bring it over the sneaker tongue and down into the next available eyelet on this side, so it should be the second eyelet up from the bottom, and pull it all the way through, making sure there's no twists, which definitely happens, that's totally normal, don't worry about it. And we're not going to pull it through too tight, we're going to make sure there's a little bit of slack there because this is a loose lacing style. Then swap to the other one, and we're going to do the same on the other side. Bring it over the sneaker tongue and down into the next available eyelet from above, pulling it through but making sure it's not super tight, just like that. Excellent. Then we're going to keep a hold of this lace and we're going to repeat that. Bring it over the sneaker tongue and down into the next empty eyelet. Should be the third one up from the bottom. Pull it through. Looking good. Swap to the other one and do the exact same. Take it over the sneaker tongue, down into the third eyelet up from the bottom from above. Great, and we're just going to keep going with that. Keep a hold of this lace. Take it over the sneaker tongue and down into the next empty eyelet. Pull it through, making sure it's not too tight. Looking good. Swap to the other one, do the exact same. Now remember, you can play this video on a half speed, or you can pause and catch up. There's literally no rush. Then we're going to keep a hold of this lace. Do the same. Bring it down to the next empty eyelet, just like we've been doing. And same on the other side. Swap to the other one. Bring it over the sneaker tongue and down into the next empty eyelet. So now that we're level with the little tongue loop, we're actually going to use this and lace the laces through it. So keep a hold of this lace. And we're going to feed it through the tongue loop, just like this. Making sure there's no twists and it's coming out nice and crisp. Great, and then we're just going to do what we've been doing. Take it down into the next empty eyelet from above, like this. Pop it out of the way. Swap to the other one, and we're going to take this one through the tongue loop as well. So just feed it through there on top of the other lace, making sure there's no twists. And down into the next empty eyelet. Looking good. Now, this is where our loose lace pattern really starts to come into it and deviate from the standard pattern. So take a hold of these laces, keep hold of this one, and we're going to take it up into the final eyelet this time from underneath, not down to it from above. And we're going to pull out about this much of the lace. Don't worry about this excess lace here, just leave it there for a second. Then we're going to do the exact same with the other lace. Instead of going down into the eyelet from above, we're going to kind of come up into it from underneath. Let's just wiggle it through there. And we're going to pull about this much of the lace end through so it's equal on both sides. Now with this excess laces, what you can do is go ahead and loosen up the pattern a little more so that your feet can slip straight in. Or if like me, and that's loose enough for you, you can just take these excess laces and simply tuck them behind the sneaker tongue out the way. Now these laces are super soft, they'll just sit on top of your feet, not bother them at all, and it keeps your pattern looking really fresh. Repeat on the other shoe and you'll have an awesome pair of loose laced Air Max 90s. If you found the info in this video helpful, please hit the like button for me to help it reach more people, and consider subscribing for more sneaker lacing content. I have loads of videos available to help inspire you guys. Thanks! Here's how to bar lace Nike Air Max 90s. Get a hold of your lace And we're going to thread each lace end down into the two very bottom eyelets here from above, just like this. Let's take the first lace end down, pull it through, but not all the way. Swap to the other one. Take the lace end and bring it down through the very bottom eyelet on this side, but don't pull it through all the way. Instead, get a hold of the two lace ends, make sure they're equal. Hold your sneaker, pull that through, and what this means is your laces will come out of equal length on either side. It's okay just to fix any little twists that happens. Then we're going to keep a hold of this lace, and we're going to skip an eyelet on this side, and instead we're going to bring it up into the third eyelet on this side from underneath. So I'm just going to wiggle that through there to show you. And we're pulling it up through this eyelet here, leaving this one empty. Then we're going to keep hold of this lace, bring it over the sneaker tongue, and we're going to take it down into the corresponding eyelet from above on the other side. So that should be the third eyelet up from the bottom on this side, and we're taking the lace down into it like I've just done. Now we should be left with these two holes, and we're going to fill them in with this lace. So take this lace end, and on this side we're going to bring it up into that empty eyelet from underneath, pull it through. Now remember, you can play this video on a half speed if you like, or pause the video. There's literally no rush, just go at your own pace. Then we're going to keep a hold of this lace, bring it over the sneaker tongue and down into this empty eyelet here just to fill it in. So wiggle that down into that one from above, pull it all the way through, and you can really see our bar patterns forming now. Keep a hold of this lace, thread it underneath that bar there, just so it's got free movement. And then we're going to repeat this pattern. We're going to skip the next available eyelet, and instead we're going to take the lace end up into the one above that from underneath, just like this. Pull that through, looking good. Then we're going to take this lace over the sneaker tongue and down into the corresponding empty eyelet on the other side. Pull that through. Then we're going to swap to the other lace and fill in the empty holes just like we did before. So take your lace end, bring it up into the empty eyelet on this side from underneath, just like this. Bring it over the sneaker tongue and down into the empty eyelet on the other side. Looking good. Great. And then we're going to take this lace end underneath that top bar there, just to give it some more movement like we did before. And we're going to repeat the pattern one last time. So we're going to skip the next empty eyelet here, and instead we're going to take it up into this very top one from underneath. Just like I'm doing here. Wiggle that through. Pull it through like that. Awesome. Then we're going to take it over the sneaker tongue and down into the very top eyelet on the other side, the corresponding eyelet. Pull it through. Just pop that lace out of the way. And then we're going to fill in these two empty holes for the last time. Swap to the other lace. And we're going to bring that lace up through the empty eyelet on this side first. Take it over the sneaker tongue and down into the empty eyelet on this side. Just like this. Great. Then we're going to bring it up underneath that top bar, just like we've been doing. And then we're going to take a second here to adjust the bars to our liking, just to make sure they're all sitting with equal distances between them as much as we can. Then you might be wondering what we're going to do with these excess laces. We're just going to bring them together and tie them in a little knot. Like this. And then we're going to tuck them down inside the sneaker behind the sneaker tongue, and they'll just sit down inside the sneaker. Now that shouldn't bother your foot at all, these laces are super soft, and it ties up the lace ends in a neat way, keeping the pattern looking really crisp. Repeat on your other sneaker and you'll have a really awesome pair of bar lace Nike Air Max 90s. If you found the info in this video helpful, please hit the like button for me to help it reach more people, and consider subscribing for more sneaker lacing content. I have loads of styles available to help inspire you guys. Thanks! Here's how to diamond lace Nike Air Max 90s. Start by taking a lace, and what we're going to do is take one of the lace ends and we're going to feed it down into this eyelet here from above like this. Pull that through, and then we're going to feed it up into the very bottom eyelet on this side from underneath, if that makes sense. So pull it through like this, making sure there's no twists. And then what we're going to do is take our two lace ends, bring them together, So we're going to take this little loop, pull it loose, hold your sneaker, and while those two lace ends are together, pull that through, and that will mean they'll come out of equal lengths. Don't worry if you couldn't do that, that's no problem. Just pause the video and make sure both your laces are of equal lengths before we carry on. There's no rush. Awesome, then we're going to take hold of this lace. What we're going to do is we're going to bring it over the sneaker tongue and down into the third eyelet up from the bottom, from above, like this. So take the lace end down into that third eyelet up from the bottom, pull it through, leaving that second eyelet there empty. Pop that lace out of the way, swap to the other one, and we're going to do the same on this side. We're going to take the lace end down into the third eyelet up from the bottom, leaving the one below it empty, pull that through to make a little X. Now you're welcome to play this video on a half speed or pause as much as you like, just go at your own pace. Then we're going to keep a hold of this lace, and what we're going to do is fill in this little empty eyelet here, but we're going to go up through it from underneath. So just bring your lace end up through it from underneath, give it a little wiggle through, pull that through like that. Great, and let's do the same on the other side. Take the lace end and we're going to bring it up through the very empty eyelet here, pull it through so our laces are coming out here, looking good. Now what we're going to do is we are going to keep a hold of this lace and we're going to repeat that pattern. We're going to bring the lace over the sneaker tongue, but we're going to miss the empty eyelet here and instead take it into the one above it, leaving that one in between empty. Swap to the other lace and we're going to do the same on the other side. We're going to skip an eyelet and we're going to take the lace down into the one above it, always making sure that we're leaving that one empty. Great. Then keep a hold of this lace and we're just going to fill them in like we did before. So bring the lace end up through that eyelet, just like this, and the same on the other side. Take the lace end up through that empty eyelet from underneath. Looking good. Now we are going to do something a little bit different. At this point you should be at the second eyelet from the top, if that makes sense. And instead of skipping an eyelet this time, we're just going to take the lace end down into the next available one, which is that second eyelet down from the top. And repeat on the other side. Bring the lace over the sneaker tongue and down into that second eyelet from the top there. Like this, making sure there's no twists. And great, we have our diamond pattern. What I like to do at this stage is just adjust the laces, making sure all the gaps look nice and even. And then with these excess lace ends, what we're going to do is we're just going to tie them into quite a loose bow. Like this. And then we're going to take that bow and tuck it down behind the sneaker tongue, out of sight. Now this will keep your pattern in place, making sure it doesn't come loose. And those laces are so soft, that bow will just sit on top of your foot and won't bother it at all. Repeat on the other sneaker and you'll have an awesome pair of diamond lace Nike Air Max 90s. If you found the info in this video helpful, please hit the like button for me to help it reach more people. And consider subscribing for more sneaker lacing content. I have loads of styles available to help inspire you guys. Thank you so much.